What a first half for Brexit. They lead 4-0 on goals there by Jonah and Johnny, Cristiano and Liam. 4-0 in favor of Brexit as they're rumbling through the Crotone defense again to start the second half, in which it begins right now. The last 25 are here, so enjoy this one for the last 25, and alby nearly lost it here. With tomaz silva on him. And Barry into the glove there of Jumbo Joe. And Thomas right here for Brexit, number 11, with a shot. And Michela with a left leg. The ball. And there's Thomas right here with Felipe on him. And centered right back to Tomaz. Or Thomas rather, Thomas Pino, not tomaz silva. And now there's Jumbo Joe from Jonah and Samson on the middle with Stevie Moore on him. And Joao Castro and Thomas. And Barry seems to be stumbling here. And now Thomas centers it. Almost squeaked through behind Michela, but Bianchi had that one off of his foot. Knocked away by Steve's right arm. And Alby is getting on Samson right here on the defensive zone. And Jumbo Joe with Anthony Bianchi on him. Look like, oh my goodness. And Anthony Bianchi didn't know what to do with this. Joao Castro with Barry on him. And Thomas Pino is getting away from Felipe. Jumbo Joe studies the time, surveys the time, and fires it wide. And it won't even matter, but it was at 10 p.m. on Thursday. And Steve was stopped by Jumbo Joe and knocked away by Joao at the front. And a shot went off the post by Barry. My oh my. It seems that Crotone hasn't got anything left in the tank. As they are currently trailing 4-0 as Brexit are running away with it. Thomas holds the ball, knocked away by Anthony Bianchi. Jumbo Joe is on this, with Stevie Moore on him. Thomas Pino, knocked away by Barry. Barry now on the counter for Crotone. They lost it. Thomas Pino centers it, knocked away by Michela. And Jonah sends the length of the field and knocked away there by Michela off of Samson. And tomaz silva is on Stevie Moore. And now with a hit there on Joao Castro. Well, the vice versa on Steve. And Samson with the intercept. Knocked around Felipe. And Alex and then lay right back to Jumbo Joe. With Jonah parked on the left. Looks left and shoots it right and scores. 5-0 Brexit as he shoots it from his left foot and buries it on the right foot. In behind Michela, and it's 5-0. And that's the end of the night for Michela, and I think he's going to be not in goal for the rest of the game. And what Angelo and Tomas Mesco has to say about this. As now Michela is going right back to his crease, and he's going to stay in the game. He's staying in the game, and it's 5-0. And Steve had it knocked away by Jonah. But it's going to be a goal kick. Well, this is feeling a lot more intensifying, and Liam is in the game, right back at it, with Jonathan Bob helping him out. Too far for Joao Castro. And Felipe had it knocked off of his feet by Joao Castro, but Felipe regains this. Alby with the boards. And Steve is buried there by Joao. And Steve's a little frustrated now, and look out. And Steve has a word here with Joao, and the rivalry's back here. And they still haven't jostled words here. The rivalry's back between these two since last year. So I think this is a little of a protest of the antagonist between these two heavyweights. The rivalry is back here. And Stevie Moore is just pretty frustrated right now with the results not going his way, and he couldn't bury the first one for Crotone. For filling in this rivalry as well, being more neutral, and it's 5-0 in favor of Brexit, and Jonathan Blom is running away with this. Jonah is on the left looking for his second of the afternoon, who had it knocked away by Alby. And Matteo and Vinny is on the counter for Crotone, joined by Alby, and it went wide. Hard to believe it, because now and Angelo and Tomaz Mesco are watching. And another goal for Liam, his second. Liam Capuano makes it 6-0 off a beautiful one-touch passing play. Alex is right there as well as Big Z, but they're going to count the goal for Liam, and it's 6-0 in favor of Brexit. Liam Capuano has his second, 6-0. And the floodgates are open here at field number 1 at the hangar. Way wide of the goal. This rivalry starts to brew up a little bit after the Steve and Joao scrap. And look at Big Z trying to get away from Felipe. He's doing some dirty damage, and it went wide by Alex. Cristiano, and then right back to Alex with Stevie Moore on him. Cristiano, who has the first goal, and then Liam with the last one. As the floodgates are open, and this rivalry that becomes like Canoe versus Workhorse again. If you're Bobby Chen and Daniel McCormack, Amit Menon, and as well as others like Chris Cicerelli, and Ishan, and Peter, and Raheem, and Gonzo, and Ben, as well as Bashar, Jibril. Others have been contributing to rivalries that become physical, and even Kurush, and it went wide by Cristiano. And that hit Steve, and he's a little dazed about that, but here's Jonathan Blom to Cristiano, and then Alex away from Felipe Diaz, and he shoots it, knocked away by Felipe, or Michela rather, pardon me. And Vinny was, and now Matteo is on the counter, knocked away by Jonathan Blom. Felipe is back with Big Z right on Michela. This is feeling a lot more decisive and destructive. And Michela is searching for answers as Barry is in the game, and it went wide. Tone. And this. And a shot by Barry went wide. And he could have broken a shutout of Jumbo Joe, but nonetheless, it's still 6-0. And Jumbo Joe with a smile here. But Johnny, tomaz to Silva. Johnny with a Mateo on him with a spin move knocked away by Barry. But Johnny, a hit on Anthony Bianchi, and Johnny won't like that. And Barry with the ball, lay it right back to Vinny, and then lay it right back to Alby. Alby centers it, knocked away there, and Mateo couldn't get good wood on this. Oh, and a foul there, and Johnny knows it. And Mateo on the one-timer, he spilled it. And it went wide, made there by Vinny, and Jumbo Jones arguing to Steve. Thomas Pino. And he knows it. Cristiano Vespera. Jumbo Joe with the ball. Jumbo Joe's running from the possession, but he still has the possession. Waits a little, holds the ball to Johnny, and then there's Jumbo Joe, and to Cristiano. He got away from Mateo and Barry with this. And now Alby with the interception. He sends it the length of the field, and he scores. His first goal as a Crotone player breaks the shuttle bit of Jumbo Joe, and it's 6-1, and Alby has his first as a Crotone player. So Alby has his first as a Crotone player, and it's a 6-1 advantage now for Brexit as Jumbo Joe's shutout has been busted. And Big Z was right up on the front and knocked away by Alby again. And Vinny was Jonah on him and knocked away by Cristiano. And now, a foul against Anthony Bianchi, and he won't be liking this. Seven to go. And off the post by Big Z, or they call him Zayd. Cristiano was Barry on him, and Big Z is right there for Thomas Pino. Stumbles, but made the play off of V. Jonah from the angle, off the side of the post. And you'll lob it to Michela. And V nearly lost it, which he did right there. And Crotone's way has not been underappreciated as they are trailing 6-1 with 6:16 left to go. And Jonah runs him by, oh my. He can't believe about the speed that he's been having. Joao Castro knocked away by Alby at a corner here. Thomas Pino is having a lot of options here. Joao Castro. And knocked away by Mateo. Oh, and tomaz to Silva from an angle makes it happen. And it's 7-1 as a ricochet banks in for a 7th goal for Brexit, and they lead 7-1. A ricochet, and it's 7-1 with 5:17 left to go. tomaz to Silva banks it in off of the defense of Crotone. It may have been off of Alby, and tomaz to Silva is really energizing again. And a foul on tomaz to Silva as he scored the 7th goal. It was on Stevie Moore. And Michela, look out here, look out. And a challenge by Jumbo Joe sends it the length of the field, and it went wide. Tipping point. And Steve is knocked away by Joao Castro. And Felipe is shaken up on the play, but Jumbo Joe says, I got it from here. And he will look to have another try, but he doesn't want to waste possession here for Brexit, in which they lead 7-1. And now Felipe and Joao having words. And for right now, Samson is on Steve. 3:55 to go. And this sense of a rivalry, filled with all the attentions of all the hype, has been almost ended here, with Brexit getting extreme revenge against Crotone from last year's finals in the winter, and the Alby scores his second of the afternoon. Alby a score to make it 7-2. With just about under 3 minutes left to go, Alby has scored again. Well, it looks like the pitchfork is almost over here from field number 1, as Brexit are going to win the game 7-2. And even though Alby has his second, looks like Alby has proved to be a little bit of a goal scorer right here for Crotone, but in which they only have 2 subs today. No Angelo for Crotone, no Tomaz Mesco for Crotone, no Anthony Galantine for Crotone, and no Palolani for Crotone, and no Michael Summers for Crotone. They're all out. So Crotone, who are really short-handed, sees their losing streak going back to 2 games in a row. They lost last week, and now they lost this week. And a shot went off the post by Mateo, and that might do it. And Brexit are going to stay undefeated. And Luis and Sobe and the rest of the crew are loving it here from the bench. And that's it. And the winning ways continue for Brexit. They are undefeated again. 4-0 in this season. And they have defeated their rivals Crotone 7-2. And everybody is getting into the tensions and the hypes, but it's all over, and Brexit have gotten revenge back on Crotone after last year's finals in the winter with a 7-2 decisive victory over the guys in blue. And the guys in yellow celebrate their 4th consecutive win to start the year. Well, this rivalry ends here with Brexit staying undefeated, and Crotone are going to stay in the losing column for the 2nd week in a row. Well, I'm out of here, and peace.